Electrifying, this is Go Island. You're watching Go Island. I am Ruth Harris. We are on location today at the John Hart Hydro Generating Station in Campbell River. And it is about to undergo a huge facelift starting this summer. But more on that later with our special guest, Stephen Watson. Now, coming up in the show, Dan Kahn is talking, and you better be listening. According to Karen, summer has arrived down in Victoria, although I don't really believe it. I'm standing here in winter clothes in 4 layers and freezing. Selling and buying of books is changing, and the power to give is in each one of us. Have a look. You're watching Go Island. I'm Ruth Harris, and we're on location today at the John Hart Generating Station for BC Hydro. We have a very special guest with us today, Stephen Watson. Stephen, what is it that you do for BC Hydro, and explain what it is we're hearing in the background?
Yeah, I'm with BC Hydro a little over 20 years, and I work in community relations, so working with the public and agencies and the media. And so right here we have the John Hart Dam Station. It was built in the 1940s, and there's 6 units inside here. They're about 21 megawatts each. And over the year, that's enough power to supply about 74,000 homes. And so it's a big part of our supply for customers on Vancouver Island, but it's not just about power generation, it's about fish habitat, recreation, and there's a lot of interest that happen here in the Campbell River system. So very aware of the interests that happen here for First Nations and agencies, and even the city's water supply comes from the BC Hydro pipelines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So I understand there's some building and some infrastructure that's changing and being developed here. Can you explain a little bit about that project?
Yeah, so we have the John Hart Generating Station Replacement Project. It's basically a $1 billion project, and we have 3 main drivers here: safety, reliability, and environmental risk. And so we've looked at different options and how we deal with that, from decommissioning to rehabilitation to replacement. And what we're going to do is replace this station. So we're going to replace the 3 pipelines that come from the dam down to the generating station. It's about 1.8 kilometers with a tunnel. It's going to be a tunnel that's going to be about 6.5 to 8 meters in diameter, and that'll run to a new generating station that'll be built somewhere here on the site. And we'll also have a water bypass facility so we can maintain fish flows. And what that means historically right now, and that's one of our biggest environmental risks, if we lose multiple units, that immediately drops the river flow, and that's a concern for fish habitat.
Okay, so we are going to go to a story right now, but we're going to keep Stephen on hand, and we're going to come back and talk to him a little bit farther. But right now we're going to head down to Victoria, where the buying and selling of books is changing. I'm Ruth Harris, and you're watching Go Island. We're on location today in Campbell River at the John Hart Generating Station with BC Hydro. I have special guest with me, Stephen Watson, and he has been explaining about the new construction that's going to be happening here. Now, apparently you're saying the trail is going to continue. Can you point that out to me and show me what you're talking about? Yeah,
well, we have the Canyon View Trail that goes through part of BC Hydro property. It gets about 75,000 user days a year. Wow. It's the top trail in Campbell River. So we're going to maintain that trail through the construction period, but we have to deviate around the current alignment. Okay. So we're going to move up inland, up and around the site. And there's a beautiful plateau area over here, and up by the surge tower, so people can walk across, have a look out. We'll have interpretive signs. They can look down in a safe area to watch the construction, and literally go across the pipelines and connect back to the Elk Falls Provincial Park. So awesome. It's going to be a pretty neat setup.
Now, those surge towers, what are those for? What do they do? They're big.
Yes, they are. They're 90 meters tall. They're half full of water, and they're the same elevation as a reservoir, a John Hart reservoir, and they provide pipeline protection. They're steel pipelines right here, but upstream they're wood stave. Okay. And like your plumber, when you turn the tap off quickly and the pipes kind of vibrate, these kinds do the same thing. And so there's a place for the water to go, and conversely for water to come down should there be an issue.
Oh, okay.
So they maintain the pipeline.
So it's kind of like a safety valve.
It is very similar to that.
Okay. So people are going to be able to walk all the way up instead of coming through here. They're going to go up and around instead.
Yes.
That is so cool.
Yeah, they'll be able to go up and around, see the activities, and then once the project's finished, we'll reestablish the Canyon View Trail back along similar to where it is today.
Okay. How many jobs and how many years?
This project looks to be about 400 jobs per year over 5 years, so that'll be a big benefit for the Campbell River community and the surrounding region.
Okay, shovels in the ground?
We're looking to award the project this summer, and we're looking to get regulatory approval from the Utilities Commission in February next month. So really we're looking at shovels in the ground late summer of this year. And then we're actually doing some early work. We're going to start building the Station View Trail, start doing some road alignments actually this spring. So you're going to see some activity this spring onward for the next 5 years.
Now, what do those jobs look like? Is it all trades? Is it just some general laborers? What can people be starting to look for?
Well, with the unique part of this project, it's a little bit of everything. You've got the tunnel excavation will be pretty neat. We'll have biologists, we'll have carpenters, plumbers, rebar, concrete, you name it. There'll be a lot of activities here. Security by hours is the #1 job. They have to be here from day one to the very end. So there's a lot of opportunities that people can express their interest in.
Okay, thank you so much for explaining this to us. We will be back to see the progress. And when you start building the trail, when's that going to be? When do you think you guys are going to start?
The Station View Trail will be started this spring, and it'll be in operation this summer.
All right, so we will come back when they start doing that, because we'd like to kind of get some of that on camera. That would be really fun. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Now we're going to head down to Victoria, where Karen Elgersma is telling us that summer is here. Wait, really? No, well, sort of. Check this out. Go Island is on location today at the John Hart BC Hydro Generating Station. Right now we are upstream a little ways from the actual generating station at the reservoir and the wooden pipeline that Stephen was referring to in our interview. These are the ones that are going to be replaced over the next 6 years. They're going to be taken apart, dismantled, and all of this will go back to being nature. You're watching Go Island. I am Mary Ruth Harris. Now, 6,000 British Columbians die from it every year, and it is still legal. Go Island is on location today at the John Hart Hydro Generating Station in Campbell River, and we right now are at the reservoir and the pipelines made out of wood from the 1940s, and these are what's going to be dismantled over the next 6 years as they build the new ones that are going to be made of steel, I believe, and a little bit of cement, but lots of steel. And it's going to be in a tunnel. So we won't be able to see it because it's going to be underground. It's going to be so cool. So all of this you see behind me, that's all going to disappear and go back to being nature. Now, in Nanaimo, it's score on every level. You've been watching Go Island. I'm Mary Ruth Harris, and we are on location at the John Hart Generating Station, but right now we're actually at the John Hart Lake, which is upstream from the actual generating station. This whole area and down there is going under a $1 billion construction over the next 4 or 5 years. It's starting this summer, and it's going to be fantastic. 400 jobs over the next 5 years. It's going to be quite something spectacular. Right now, this area, the hydro generating station supplies 74,000 homes. We're going to see an increase of 7%, but the main focus is the safety. Right now, if there was an earthquake at that station, it was built in the 1940s, there's no seismic support. So the new station that's being built is going to have all of the earthquake preparation built right into it. It's going to be good for all of us so that our hydro will keep coming. I don't know if you can hear, but in the distance, the lake is draining down into the river and it's going off. You can hear it in the distance. And yeah, so you can go to the BC Hydro website and check out all the information. The trail at the generating station is being circled over and above so you can see the construction happening. It's going to be quite something for the Campbell River and area people to participate in. So that's it for today. Have a great weekend and we'll see you next week.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.